Hey, what's good? This is MotoristX and welcome to an edition of the RevVlog, a series where I vlog about automotive events and lore. In this episode, we'll be strolling through Hoshi Cafe's K-car meet and seeing what type of cool cars really turn up. Of course, as you could probably already tell, the theme is small Japanese microcars known as K-cars. And funnily enough, there's a whole rally/cruise of these things zooming through North Texas. I didn't go on that cruise because I don't have my own K-car yet, womp womp, but I was able to catch all these cars at their final destination point, which again was Hoshi Cafe. And a little bit of extra context to the spot, it's a Japanese eatery established by Steve's POV, which I have grown to love. Oftentimes they host a lot of different car events, which to me are unique for the scene here in North Texas, but the cafe itself is really just a place to unwind and really calm down if you want to, put a pause on time and just other things, you want to let your mind wander and have some great food, great, drinks, as well as meet some great people there. I'd recommend this spot, I really do, and I don't say that about a lot of places. But yeah, that's a wrap to all this introductory stuff and extra context. Let's dive into Hoshi Cafe's K-car meet. All right, so we have arrived at this meet and I decided to park next to another third gen Focus. All right, these things for what they are, they're pretty interesting. Here's my baby right here, and he's a pretty fun daily driver, but it's just interesting to see how people turn these things into something else, or what they kind of do to them. This car I feel could use a little bit more love, but what really has my eye is this rear little spoiler. I don't think it's big enough to be a wing, but look at this, man. It looks and sits so nicely with the lines of this car, and I'm thinking of doing something similar to my own. I want to finish off this car exterior wise with something to go on the back, and what else better than a spoiler? All right, enough with my little NPC cars. Let's start off with some of the real kickers of this show. All right, we're starting off with the little A90 Supra. And then what we have here, two interesting whips. An AutoZam AZ1. I don't know if it's a Mazda Speed. Doesn't look like it has the kit, but it's pretty cool just to see these things in the metal, man. Very clean, very nice. O&P steering wheel, nice gauge. Nice wheels too, look at these. 3 spokes, kind of. Very cool, very nice. All right, and carrying this little K-car, we have a nice Swedish hot wagon. All right, I believe this is a V60, but this isn't any Volvo V60. It is a Polestar. All right, just to give you some history on the name, I believe they started off as a Swedish racing team in the Swedish Touring Car Championship, and then later on they started producing their own production cars or production variants of kind of the Volvos that they would tune. And this is an example of one of them. It's always nice to see, a clean example of Polestar, and just kind of, I wouldn't say rare, but uncommon, sports cars, sports wagons, sport hatches, whatever you want to call this, just pop out, especially here in North Texas. Now here lies the cars we are all here for, the wonderful assortment of K-cars that have come from a K-car rally here in North Texas, and they ended up here at Hoshi Cafe. So a lot of small cars, small engine cars, very fun cars, I bet, to drive since they're so light, and I think some of these are really punchy, very torquey, but cool cars and interesting cars to see nonetheless, and pieces of Japanese history, man. You might think, okay, you have the Miata, you might have the, other cars like it, but, you look at smaller icons like this, and it'll definitely change your way of how you see Japanese cars altogether. It's amazing what the Japanese have been able to do, what they can do, and what they will continue to do, because they still produce K-cars today. I'm gonna say my favorite's probably right here, this little beat. Give you some closer views of what we're examining. A little Type R ring. I think this is from a FK8. That's some cool fitment we got right here. Yeah, it's amazing what, you know, you can do with a lot of Japanese cars and how many parts you can exchange on, you know, one another. And that's something I found exclusively with a lot of Japanese cars compared to American or European cars. You know, it's just so much interchangeability with these cars, man. It's spectacular. And then over here we have a couple of vans, K-vans that is. Now, you know, don't be fooled, this is not a Volkswagen, but I believe this is a Sambar, Subaru Sambar. Very cool, man. Peep that little Game Boy right there. I think that's the one that came before mine. Before they had the flip ones, they had kind of solid state ones. A little Scooby-Dooby-Doo! Look at this thing, man. Then we have the Mitsubishi K-van. I don't see these a lot. You know, I see a lot of the Hondas and I see a lot of the Subarus, you know, kind of, you know, in their modded or stock forms, but I never really see much of the Mitsubishi versions. So I just checked the back, and actually this is a Bravo. All right, if you want to remember the name for, you know, kind of time's sake or namesake, you know, there you go. And then right next to that, we have a nice two-tone, real-time, four-wheel drive Honda K-van. I believe this is an Acti van, or the variant of it. Then over here we have some heavy hitters, actually something I have not really seen in person, a Justy. All right, I believe this was Subaru's kind of answer to the Corolla. And I believe the Lancer before they actually got the Impreza and the Leon. I may be wrong, maybe the different size class, but yeah, I think this is something close to a, you know, Corolla or a Starlet, one of the two, but it's Subaru's little version. Then we have this Honda Step Wagon, very clean, very smooth, and very aesthetically pleasing, man. This is, you know, you don't really see stuff like this unless you're really in, you know, Cali or Japan itself, in the Daikoku. It's definitely a treat to see this pop up here in North Texas, man. I tell you, North Texas is a spot where you get so many different cars you never expected to see, you know, not only here in Texas, but in the States overall. Moving on from that, you know I'm a Nissan head. This is, you know, not so much a Skyline, but it's maybe a wagon version of it. You know, this is the Stagia, all right? The Stagia was actually more based on a larger version of the Skyline called the Laurel, but a lot of people have found that they can change a lot of different parts between specifically the R34 generation Skyline and this WC34 Stagia. I think that's the code or the chassis code name for the car. Of course, what you can see here, it has a GTR front bumper, and that's kind of the huge conversion a lot of people do. GTR front, and then the rest of it is just, you know, Stagia body. All right, so for right now, my phone has got to cool off because it's getting too hot and I can't really shoot in the sun, but we're gonna take a look at this little B200. All right, I struggle to say that, I don't know why, but this is essentially what the Ranger was based off of, all right? Because during the 90s, Mazda and Ford, they had a partnership where a lot of their smaller cars, Ford's cars that is, were produced within their Japanese factories, you know, co-developed by Mazda. And this is kind of a nod to that era. This is the original car, you know, not Ford's rendition, but essentially whenever you see a Ranger, think of this car. You can thank this car. My boy shows up. Focus, gang, we out here. All right, making our way with these K cars, we have this Acti that has some nice touches, man. Nice, man. Let's get a closer look. Spoon, legendary nameplate right there. Hopefully this won't get copyrighted because there's some legendary iconic music playing, but we have this nice little bike as well that came with a lot of kind of 80s Hondas. And then it's just really, again, the small touches, the subtle little intricacies with this car that is really drawing me to it, man. I like this. And then probably, I'm gonna say this is actually tied for my favorite K truck over here, man. This blue is really sending me, man. Oh, this is just gorgeous. Let me give you a better angle. Oh my gosh. Oh, bro. All right, making our way down this lot, we're gonna finish up looking at these Japanese pieces of history. I've seen this one before at Import Nights, but I haven't seen a lot of these other ones. And then we have a little, what is this, a midget? Yeah, a midget too. I've only seen one or the other of these in the States. Quality stuff you love to see. And oh, I think I found my third favorite K-Truck. I'm a blue guy, all right? I love blue cars, especially nice shades. That other one and this K-Truck right here, I think a Jimny, is just really doing it for me, man. Then we're gonna finish off with this little military dark green Jimny. And then this little AutoZam kind of escaped my gaze right here. I was so busy looking at all the other K cars, but I failed to really get a good, kind of shot of this, bro. I like the little kind of, I wouldn't say boy racer, but very kind of underground. You're just starting off with your starter car type of look it's got going on. I really love like these 80s kind of inspired, my friend called them like wind tunnels kind of wheels that it has on, bro. This is nice, man. Alright, if you liked what you saw, go ahead and leave a like and consider subscribing to see more content like this. I can definitely tell you I'm gonna be going to a lot more car events, and I'll definitely plan on vlogging a lot of what I see too. So if you want to see, kind of go on a journey with me and see what I see, or if you're not able to make something and I happen to be there, and if you want to see some cool coverage and footage of these events, this might be the place for you. So yeah, highly recommend subscribing so you don't miss another RevVlog from me. I am MotoristX, and this was an edition of the RevVlog.